I was just watching a video earlier about how 4 were shot at a Holiday Inn parking lot, 3 injured and 1 was murdered. At first, I didn't know who it was because in the video, it's like 2-3 minutes long, and this happened in Tampa. No victims were named at the time, but then again, it just happened around 4:40 a.m. of early today, and I did a little research, and come to find out it was actually Jacksonville rapper Julio Foolio. And the crazy thing is that his birthday was just Friday. 26 years old, and he gets killed. It's just really sad to hear. I don't know what he did. I don't know who he pissed off. I know he's a known gang member in Jacksonville and all that. I know he's been shot at a few different times, but still, it's just sad to hear. My condolences go out to the family. It's just really sad to hear it because, 1 minute you're here, you're celebrating your birthday or whatever accomplishment that you're celebrating, and the next day you're gone because somebody murdered you or whatever the case may be. I hope that his family and all the victims have speedy recovery and Julio Foolio does get his justice. I understand living out in the streets, there's consequences to that, and I don't know who he was personally or the type of person Julio Foolio was in real life or anything, but I feel like if you were murdered, you should get your justice. That's just my opinion. I mean, I know everybody's going to have their own and think differently than I do, but even if my family was living in the streets and, in a gang and all that, if they were murdered, I'd want justice for them, especially if they're that young, 26 years old. But it's sad. I mean, King Von is another one. I didn't really listen to his music either. I've heard a few songs, but I mean, he died a few years ago for pretty much, I'm gonna guess, gang violence. Look at Savage Studios. He's a prison YouTuber. He got murdered. I think they caught his killer. And I believe it was because but I think with Savage Studios, he was a real cocky dude. But I feel like he was murdered because he was disrespecting a different type of gang. But I'm not 100% sure. I do know he disrespected somebody and somebody just went along, came up and murked his ass. And like I said, I feel like he got his justice. I don't remember if King Von, if his murder is, how can I put it, solved or not. I don't know. I forget. I never really paid attention to it. I just remember hearing that he was shot and killed. But it's just a sad thing to see. It seems like the street life brings you only one of two things, unless you can get out early. And the two things is either prison or death. And yeah, like if you can get out early, then you can possibly sit here and live your life like a regular civilian. But it doesn't seem like it's very likely, It just really bothers me sometimes hearing young kids messing up their whole lives because of a simple mistake. I mean, I remember looking up a case with Summerfeild 6, I believe it was. It happened in Marion County. And pretty much 5 people got life in prison. Well, no, actually, 4 people got life in prison. Her name was Charlie Eli, Justin Soto, Kyle Hooper, and Amber Wright. Michael Bargo, he got the death sentence. So he's sitting on Florida's death row right now at like 20 something, no, probably like 30 something years, 20, 30 something years old, somewhere around that area. But Charlie Eli did actually get out on appeal though. So she's technically out right now. She only spent 9 years in prison, but she got out. Everybody else is in prison for the rest of their lives. And it's just sad because when this actually happened, Amber Wright was only 15. Kyle Hooper, her brother, was like 16. Michael Bargo was 18 when this happened. Justin Soto was right around 20. And Charlie Eli was right around that age of 18 or 19. And, you know, the victim was Seth Jackson, and he died at a young age of 15. It's just sad to hear stuff like that, you know, and this happened back in like 2011, I believe. So this happened a while ago, but it just makes you think you can just mess up once and your whole life's messed up. Like, for instance, recent case, this guy in Marion County, he drove drunk. I don't remember his name, but he drove drunk and he hit a bus full of migrant workers, killed 8 of them, if I remember correctly. And he hasn't been sentenced because it just happened, but he's gonna get a long time in prison, if not almost a life sentence. All because he decided to drive drunk and kill someone or kill multiple people. Even though it may not have been intentional, but he still did it. There's a whole bunch of countless, cases like that, where people that are in their 20s and 30s and teens just mess up their whole lives because of one simple mistake, you know? And like, there was another one. I remember the truck driver in Colorado. At one point, he was getting 100 and something years, but then the petition and all that a judge gave him eventually just resentenced him to 10 years, if I remember correctly. Because I think his brakes failed somewhere in the Colorado mountains. And he was new to the job, if I remember correctly. And then he missed one of those little drive-off ways. I don't know what they're called. They're like on the mountains, you'll see them. And if the truck can't, or their truck brakes fail, they can drive off into one of those little spillways so they don't cause an accident. But like I said, he killed multiple people, not on purpose, on an accident, and he still got a whole bunch of time. It's just really sad. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think.